Good evening, you're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Saeed Shihab bin Tariq Al Saeed heads to France to participate in the opening of the 21st International Climate Conference. Assigned by His Majesty the Sultan, His Excellency the Minister of State, Governor of Dhofar will tomorrow, Sunday, preside over the graduation of the 26th batch of students at Sultan Qaboos University. With the participation of 41 countries, the works of the World Forum on Girl Scouts and Guides experiment starts in Muscat. And the Sultanate's wilayas, governorates and embassies continue celebrations of the 45th Glorious National Day. Those were the headlines, and now for the news in detail. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Saeed Shihab bin Tariq Al Saeed heads to France today to represent the Sultanate in the opening of the 21st International Climate Conference, which is due to be held in the French capital Paris from the 30th of November till the 11th of December. His Highness will be accompanied by His Excellency Mohammed bin Salem Al Toubi, Minister of Environment and Climate Affairs, and His Excellency Sheikh Humaid bin Ali Al Mani, Sultanate's ambassador accredited to France. The conference will discuss topics related to the environment, namely finding an international agreement to combat global warming with the participation of 195 party countries of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Changes. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Excellency Saeed Mohammed bin Sultan Al Busaidi, Minister of the State Governor of Dhofar, will tomorrow, Sunday, preside over the graduation of the 26th batch of students at Sultan Qaboos University. This year's celebration will be in two batches. Tomorrow, Sunday, male and female students will graduate from the colleges of Arts and Social Sciences, Education, Law, Economic and Political Sciences. The second batch will be on the 6th of December, which will include students of the colleges of Medicine, Health, Sciences, Nursing, Agriculture and Marine Sciences, Engineering and Science. 2,930 students are graduating from different majors and qualifications in bachelor's, master's and PhD. The Sultanate has scored 0 in the Global Terrorism Index, according to a report issued by the International Economics and Peace Institute. The report said the Sultanate strictly regulates anything related to extremism and sectarian intolerance. The Sultanate also signed the International Convention for the Suppression of the Financing of Terrorism. It also established a system for money laundering and terrorism financing combat as per a royal decree. The report also pointed out that the Sultanate avoided the occurrence of any acts of terrorism through encouraging tolerance in the domestic and international arenas. The index consists of 10 countries, with least points represent those which are the least vulnerable to terrorism, whilst those with the highest points represent countries which are the highest vulnerable to terrorism. The index has traced the latest developments of terrorism in most countries in the world during the last 15 years, in terms of geographical activity, the type of attacks, and terrorist groups. With the participation of 41 countries, the works of the World Forum on Girl Scouts and Guides experience started in Muscat today. The event came to crown the Oman Guide's success on the Arab and international level. The inauguration ceremony was held under the auspice of Her Excellency Muna bin Salem Al Jardaniya, Undersecretary of the Ministry of Manpower for Vocational Training. Around 100 participants are taking part in the forum. It aims to modernize the experiment of guides, expand connect networks among Scouts organizations in the world, and also to exchange expertise among the participants. The 7th International Neurosurgical Conference organized by Oman Neurosurgical Society is commenced. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubai.
One of the most rapidly advancing areas of medicine has been and will be neurosurgical care. Today, Khola Hospital, the National Center for Neurosurgical Care in Oman, receives in its clinics over 200 patients in a week and conducts 6 surgery in a week, with a total 100 surgery per year, 50% of which are trauma cases and the remaining 50% tumor, spine and congenital defects. Hence, this conference held here is planned to address questions on various areas of neurosurgery and highlight the latest in neurosurgical science and practice, which will assist in promoting, implementing and improving the standard of education and training and neurosurgical care in Oman. That provide power to operate removable rotating tools for the neurosurgery without damaging brain. Dr. Ali Al-Mashani spoke about the neurosurgical services in Khola and Oman. He said,
dealing with all complex surgery, from brain tumors, from vascular injuries, from also spine injuries, as well as degeneratives, congenital anomalies. And actually we are concentrate also in the publication, and we have for the last few months we have 2 publications. One is the first surgery done in pediatric all over the world, which is the first case reported in the world.
Dr. G.P. Mishra also said,
this is the major setup at the moment. Now there are 4 more setups which have come up and they are developing. One of them is, of course, apart from Salalah, is in Sohar, and another one in University in Muscat itself. So all these major cases are sent here for the treatment, and our attempt is that those cases who require neurosurgical intervention, especially for brain tumor, they must come here as early as possible.
And Dr. Sharad Rajamani added
that the 8th most robust system of medical care is in Oman, and of which I can definitely say in neurosurgery, we're doing the types of surgeries and the quality of care is on international standards or on par with international standards, and is seen in the top 5% of hospitals, probably in the US or in the UK, and we are able to offer to them the latest.
The expected outcomes of this conference is to improve the standard of neuro care patients in the Sultanate of Oman. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television, Crown Plaza Hotel, Muscat.
Still to come in our news bulletin. The Sultanate's fish landings used traditional fishing methods over the first 8 months of 2015, posting an increase of 8%. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. Rejoicing the 45th Glorious National Day, the citizens of the Walaya of Mana in the Governorate of Dakhliya have organized a traditional festival under the auspice of His Excellency Mohammed bin Salam Atubi, Minister of Environment and Climate Affairs. During the festival, the citizens expressed their love and loyalty to the leader of the country, His Majesty Sultan Qaboos. It witnessed a huge participation from school students, as well as Omani traditional art bands. It included various activities, namely horse shows and traditional dances. In the Wilaya of Saham in the Governorate of North Batna, the citizens organized a ceremony to celebrate the 45th Glorious National Day. It witnessed a huge attendance from men, women and children who hoisted flags of the Sultanate, cheering sincere greetings and best wishes to His Majesty, the beloved leader, praying to Allah the Almighty to protect His Majesty as the guardian of this country and its people. It included various activities, namely poetry and traditional dances. Meanwhile, the Wilaya of Kabura witnessed a traditional celebration on this glorious occasion, during which some horse riders displayed different shows, accompanied by Omani singing arts. The celebration came to express love and loyalty to the beloved leader of the country, His Majesty the Sultan, as well as joy over the achievements made in the country. Citizens in the Wilaya of Kabul and Badia in the Governorate of North Sharqiya celebrated the 45th Glorious National Day, where huge crowds of citizens expressed joy whilst hoisting flags of the Sultanate. The celebrations were accompanied by Omani traditional arts, in addition to national poems that expressed love for the country and its leader, His Majesty the Sultan. A national poetic evening was held in the Wilaya of Al-Musanna to celebrate the 45th Glorious National Day under the auspice of His Excellency Sheikh Saad bin Mohammed Al-Mardouf Al-Sadi, Minister of Sports Affairs. It witnessed a participation from a number of poets and those interested in national poems. The poets delivered poems praising His Majesty the Sultan and the achievements realized during His Majesty's glorious reign at all levels and walks of life. The Sultanate's embassies in brotherly and friendly countries have continued the celebrations on the occasion of the 45th Glorious National Day. The Sultanate's embassies in Tanzania held a ceremony to celebrate this glorious occasion, which was attended by government officials from Tanzania, members of the diplomatic corps, media men, academics and businessmen. The attendees praised the development and progress witnessed by the Sultanate under the wise leadership of His Majesty the Sultan. The ceremony included various activities, presentations, documentaries that highlighted this glorious occasion, in addition to stress on the good relations of the Sultanate with Tanzania. The Sultanate's fish landings using traditional fishing methods over the first 8 months of 2015 posted an increase of 8%, with the catch reaching 141,688 tons, against 131,200 tons recorded in the same period last year. The total value of fish landings by artisanal fisheries grew by 3.8% to 110,635,000 Omani rials, compared to 106,621,000 rials in the previous year. It's according to the data released by the National Center for Statistics and Information. Among species that showed significant increase in landings include sharks and rays and large pelagic fish, which their respective growth rate being at 27.7% and 15.7% during the January-August period. On the other hand, fish landing by coastal fishing grew 33.7% to 2,339 tons, whilst landing through commercial fishing rose 42.2% to 580 tons. Now for the general weather forecast. Generally, clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate, with cloud accumulation over coastal areas of the governorates of Al-Wasta and Dhofar, with chances of rainfall. Winds will be easterly to northeasterly light to moderate along the coast of the Sea of Oman, while it will be north to northwesterly light to moderate in the rest of the Sultanate. Seas along the coast overlooking the Arabian will be moderate to rough, with a maximum wave height of 2.5 meters. And along the rest of the coast it will be slight, with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Signed by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Saeed Shihab bin Tariq Al Saeed heads to France to participate in the opening of the 21st International Climate Conference. Signed by His Majesty the Sultan, His Excellency the Minister of State, Governor of Dhofar will tomorrow, Sunday, preside over the graduation of the 26th batch of students at Sultan Qaboos University. With the participation of 41 countries, the works of the World Forum on Girl Scouts and Guides experiment starts in Muscat. And the Sultanate's wilayas, governorates and embassies continue celebrations of the 45th Glorious National Day. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studio, it's good night.